They are stealthy and strong. They are swift and elegant. They are playful and powerful. Big cats are fascinating creatures and formidable hunters. They are the most charismatic creatures on Earth, and this is their story. These wild winners stand their ground on velvet paws. The Pantanal in Brazil, the world's largest tropical wetland. It's a labyrinth of woods, lakes, and streams, and home to South America's largest cat, the jaguar. A powerful swimmer, the jaguar is the top predator in this amphibious world. Other creatures must keep out of its way. An adult male is 100 kilograms of power-packed muscle, bone, and sinews. He is a supreme hunter. But this male isn't thinking about food right now. He's patrolling his home range and has caught the scent of a female. Adult jaguars are loners, so social encounters are stressful. The male cautiously approaches the female. He's well aware she has razor-sharp claws and teeth. It's a precarious situation for both jaguars. The desire to mate is competing directly with the instinct to fight. The male's initial advances are firmly rebuffed. But after a round of rather rough foreplay, the female is ready to accept the male as her partner. Female jaguars are only fertile for about 2 weeks a year. The act of mating is short and vigorous, as it is in most cat species. The couple only stay together for a few days, but they mate several times in this period. The female will give birth to her babies alone. Jaguar males take no part in raising their young. Once the next generation has been secured, the parents go their separate ways. Jaguars are formidable predators, and capybaras, the world's largest rodents, are on the menu, as are caiman. The jaguar's spotted fur is great camouflage. The hunter blends in perfectly with the bushes. But as the jaguar emerges from cover, it is spotted. This time the cat leaves empty-handed. There are huge numbers of caiman in the Pantanal, but they are not easy to catch. The jaguar's technique is to sneak up as silently as possible. Jaguars are immensely strong, able to ambush prey bigger than themselves. The hunter waits for its chance. Then pounces. The jaguar has the most powerful bite of all the big cats. Its teeth penetrate the caiman's skull, paralyzing it. With its great strength, the cat hauls the caiman into the vegetation, where it will feast in peace. The waterways and riverbanks are the big cat's natural hunting grounds. And to be a success, every jaguar has to learn their patch of the Pantanal. These jaguar cubs are being taken to the river by their mother for the first time. The appearance of the cat family causes great anxiety. A jaguar in the water means trouble. The capybara family needs to move. The jaguar cubs cautiously follow their mother into the river. The capybara sounds the alarm. The family quickly head to the shore, keeping their distance from the predators. The element of surprise has gone. The capybaras have escaped, and the jaguar family moves on. The jaguar rules over the marshes and rainforests of Brazil. But another kind of cat holds sway in the highlands of Chile. The mountain lion, or puma, is second only to the jaguar in size. This female patrols the Torres del Paine National Park. The high grasslands are her hunting ground. With her light brown coat, she blends into the background, while guanacos stand out on the low grass. Late afternoon is a good time to check out the herd, for she will hunt at night. In the hours before sunset, the herd falls into a false sense of security. The puma is most interested in the guanacos that stray from the herd. From a distance, she follows every movement. Like all cats, pumas have excellent night vision. But the mountain lion still has to get close if she is to make a kill. If the guanacos sense her presence, the hunting attempt will fail. The thermal imaging camera shows the puma's masterful strategy. She keeps her distance while singling out her victim and making a slow approach. The guanaco calmly chews the cud, oblivious to the danger. As long as the puma makes no noise, she has a chance. The puma quickly fills her belly. She fears other pumas might find her prize. Once she has made sure that there's no danger, the mother puma calls her young to join her. At 2 months old, they need meat to supplement their mother's milk. A full-grown guanaco provides 2 or 3 days of nourishment for the puma family. The mother stays vigilant and finally decides that they've had enough to eat for the time being. She calls the cubs to follow her. Their hunger satisfied, the little cats start to play. While the little pumas frolic, their mother futilely tries to hide the guanaco with grass. Scavengers abound and are a real bane for a mother trying to feed her young. The harsher the habitat, the more young animals need help and support. And this is one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. But a little desert lion can rely on the protection and care of an entire group. This pride roams the Namib Desert in southwestern Africa. Desert lions have become very rare. Some wear radio collars so that rangers can keep track of their whereabouts. Lions live in family units. They work as a team in their defense, while out hunting, and in rearing their young. Fathers keep watch over their family and regularly patrol the area on the lookout for rivals. Males from other prides would kill the young in order to mate with the females themselves and sire their own cubs. So the fathers are constantly on their guard. They will only pass on their genes if they successfully defend their family. The young desert lions are about 5 months old. They are curious and always learning. An unexpected visitor attracts their attention. This bird would make a tasty little treat. And there are 2 of them. This is an opportunity for the young lions to practice their hunting skills. They lie in wait for the right moment, and then creep closer. Surely nothing now stands between these precocious predators and success. Well, almost nothing. The birds are lucky that the cubs are so inexperienced. They have a lot to learn before they can hunt by themselves. A distant relative demonstrates what it takes to be a real desert hunter. A hungry caracal is looking for its breakfast. This elegant cat prefers to eat birds and rodents, but eggs would do. The pied crow has its nest nearby. It attempts to drive the caracal away. Luckily for the crow, the cat is looking for something else for breakfast. Its large ears are extremely sensitive. They allow it to detect the slightest rustle in the bushes. Made by a mouse. This is what the caracal has been waiting for. Breakfast at last. Providing the young lions with food is the responsibility of their mothers and aunts. However, in the Namib desert, finding prey is easier said than done. In this habitat, 9 out of 10 hunts end in failure. In the bushland of South Africa, the conditions are more favorable. Two lionesses and their cubs are checking out a waterhole. This pride is very unusual. 2 of the cubs have light, almost white coats. The little ones stand out, and this is a serious disadvantage for hunters who rely on camouflage. The pride approaches the waterhole, but 3 unfamiliar lions are already there. Although the males are not yet adult, they still pose a threat to the cubs. The lionesses keep an eye on their offspring, even while they are drinking. After their thirst has been quenched, the family looks for a place to rest, all the while being watched by the unfamiliar lions. The lionesses know that the waterhole attracts prey, so they want to stay close. And they don't have long to wait. A large buffalo herd is on its way. The lionesses know that the buffaloes are less alert when they are at the waterhole. The predators have a good view, allowing them to choose a possible victim. The buffaloes are preoccupied. One of the lionesses eases her way towards the buffalo herd. The other lioness approaches from the opposite side. They have a greater chance working as a team, encircling their prey. Their teamwork is a success. One of the lionesses kills the buffalo with a bite to the throat. Each animal eats its fill, but they aren't the only ones interested in the kill. The family has company. The hunt did not escape the notice of the 3 other lions. One of the rivals approaches. But the spoils of victory were hard won. The hunters will not give them up without a fight. The lionesses put the adolescent males in their place, and they beat a hasty retreat. Lions depend on family, whether in the hunt or in defense. They have the great advantage of teamwork and the experience of the pride. The wide, open grasslands of the Serengeti are considered Africa's paradise for wild animals and an ideal habitat for the fastest land mammal on Earth, the cheetah. Unlike lions, cheetahs are typically solitary animals. However, sometimes males will form hunting coalitions. Cheetahs have the swiftest legs and the sharpest eyes of all the big cats. These predators can pick out the slightest sign of weakness in a herd from 5 kilometers. They gauge the distance to a victim with impressive precision and then attack. Cheetahs reach speeds of up to 110 kilometers per hour. Their extended claws are like spikes, making rapid acceleration possible, along with extreme changes in direction. The commotion attracts the attention of hyenas. Hyenas are a nightmare for cheetahs. First they observe, taking stock of the situation. They're just waiting for the chance to steal the cat's hard-won meal. The cheetah is faster, but not with that chunk of meat in its mouth. The hyena is stronger, and the cheetah is forced to relinquish its kill. The annual rainy season is an easier time for cheetahs. There is time for youngsters to hone the skills that they will need as adult hunters. Like pouncing and sprinting, homing in, and knocking down their prey. But for the mother, hunting is not a game. She must take every opportunity to feed her young. After the rains, the gazelles give birth to their babies, and there is food in abundance for the cheetahs. The young watch their mother's every step. She singles out her victim and accelerates into action. The hungry cubs approach the kill. They are still dependent on their mother to provide regular meals, but soon she will pass on her knowledge to her little ones. Cheetahs are still relatively common on the savannas of Africa. Elsewhere, big cats are in danger of extinction. This is the Lanjar Nature Reserve in China. It lies near the border with Russia and North Korea. Rangers regularly patrol these remote mountain forests. They're looking for a creature that is extremely shy and highly endangered. The ghost-like Amur leopard. In order to capture images of this extremely rare animal, the rangers set up dozens of camera traps. Occasionally, they'll come across evidence of this mysterious cat. These are the remains of a sika deer that fell victim to a leopard about a year ago. For the rangers, this is a clear sign that their efforts to save the Amur leopard are working. But the rangers and the remote terrain are not the only things that support the big cats. Once a year, a lorry drives down the one and only access road. Sika deer are released into the wilderness, an offering and an invitation to the leopards. And it works, for in forests where sika deer roam, killers on velvet paws are not far behind. the fresh print of an adult leopard. The rangers know that a female has been hunting in this area for years. The introduced Sika deer drew her here. The question is whether the leopard has offspring. The team examines the most recent pictures from the camera traps. Besides the Sikas, there are other prey animals, such as pigs. A bear with a transmitter, an old acquaintance of the rangers. And then they finally see what they hoped for, the leopardess. But that's not all. The rangers can hardly believe their eyes. The leopardess is not alone. For years, the Amur leopard faced extinction. Now, with a new generation of the leopards of Lanja, at last, there is hope. The remote Russian Far East is the realm of the rare and endangered Siberian tiger. It roams the vast forests that extend all the way to the Pacific coast. This most powerful of all the big cats leaves scent marks throughout its territory as a warning for other tigers. Like most cats, the Siberian tiger hunts alone. The distinctive striped coat provides perfect camouflage and allows it to creep up on its prey. Sika deer are the tiger's favorite target. To have a chance of success, the tiger must sneak up on its victim. If it doesn't get close enough to make the final jump, it loses out. Tigers that live close to the Pacific coast have a big advantage. Brown algae is washed up onto the beach. Deer come to this part of the coast to feed on the nutrient-rich seaweed. But the deer are in grave danger. The tigers know exactly which routes the deer will take when they return to the forest. The big cats just have to wait. The deer have some semblance of safety when they are in the dense woods, but crossing open areas is much riskier. The cat tracks the deer. The deep snow makes moving difficult. If attacked, the deer would not escape easily. But first, the tigress has to get close enough to the deer to launch an attack. The sudden silence tells the survivors that the danger is over, at least for now. The tigress makes do with a few quick mouthfuls. She has 2 hungry youngsters waiting nearby. They're hardly kittens anymore, but they're still dependent on their mother. Ravens are quick to find the kill, but the young tigers will eat first. The 2 cubs have to eat quickly before the carcass freezes. They struggle to bite through the fur with their milk teeth. It will be another year before these 2 can hunt for themselves. Siberian tigers are not the only cats living in an extreme environment. The Karakoram Mountains in Pakistan are home to some extraordinary animals, including the markhor goat. And the extremely shy snow leopard. The cliffs are treacherous. The cat's big paws give it grip on the slippery rock, and its long tail provides balance. The leopard, with its off-white spotted fur, is almost invisible. Finding food is tough in this harsh landscape. Markhors will even climb trees to get fresh foliage. Snow leopards use caves to shelter their young and to sleep in. The markhors are already at breakfast. But for the leopards, there's still time for a morning ritual, mutual grooming. Young snow leopards start eating meat when they are just a few weeks old, so their mother has to hunt regularly. The mating season of the markhors, when the bucks blindly follow every step of the females, makes the snow leopard's task easier. While the adults are preoccupied, the mother cat picks out one of the young animals who has strayed away from the herd. The snow leopard positions herself above her prey, ready to spring into action. The young goat was lucky this time. The snow leopard is an important icon of the wild. And the same can be said of Europe's rarest wildcat. The wilderness of the Sierra Morena in Spain is one of the last refuges of the Iberian lynx. Originally, this cat inhabited the entire peninsula, but that was a long time ago. The growth of towns and the spread of agriculture forced the lynx into smaller and smaller areas. With the loss of habitat, the lynx population plummeted until there were only around 100 left. Today, the Iberian lynx is one of the most endangered cat species in the world. To save the remaining population from extinction, a breeding program was launched in 2002. The project members have a difficult task: to capture rare wild individuals. Each day, they check on their humane traps. There's a wild lynx in this trap. The men cover the cage to try and calm the trapped animal. Why risk causing stress to an Iberian lynx when there are so few of them? The answer? This wild lynx will join the captive breeding program. But first, they have to make sure that the cat doesn't have any diseases. The healthy lynx is taken to one of the 4 breeding stations. Each station accommodates about 40 animals. Offspring born here will boost the population in the wild. Dozens of cameras monitor the enclosure. The station's biologists watch every step in the development of the young captive-born lynx. Before they are released, the lynx have to go through a period of training. Young lynx must learn every aspect of the hunt, from stalking to pouncing and holding the prey down to killing their victims. Only if they master all these skills will they be able to survive in the wild. This kitten is 6 months old. In just 3 months, it will be on its own. But it still has a lot to learn about catching rabbits. The young lynx have to find, hunt, and kill the food they need. The biologists let the lynx own mothers teach them. One of these 3 youngsters has followed its mother's example and already killed a rabbit, but the other 2 still need to learn. The mother shows her kittens the dead animal to help them work out what they have to do to survive. After all this careful preparation, the biologists picked the best place to set the lynx free. The area must be open, yet have enough rocks, hollow trees and dense bushes for hiding. And water has to be available all year round. But what Iberian lynx need most of all are wild rabbits. There was a time when the whole Iberian Peninsula was teeming with rabbits. But diseases and agriculture caused the population to decline. Wild rabbits are the lynx's most important prey, so the biologists set about building artificial rabbit colonies in the places where they will be released. In time, these places will become home to tens of thousands of wild rabbits. Of course, things would be easier if wild rabbits could be bred. But rabbits bred in captivity do not survive long in the wild, so wild-caught bunnies are needed. The new arrivals have only one task: to reproduce as quickly as possible. In the breeding station, the biologists have chosen a lynx for release. They do so with mixed feelings, because the cat will face a huge challenge in the wild. But first, the lynx has to be caught. Thanks to the breeding program, about a dozen lynx are released into the wild every year. This is a big event, attended by prominent figures and press, and the entire team is present when it's time to free the young animal. This is a bittersweet time for the wildlife biologists and animal trainers. They are united by hope and a single thought. Take care, little lynx, and good luck. Equipped with a radio transmitter, the lynx will send data about its position to the wildlife biologists. But from this moment on, out there in the wilderness, it will be entirely on its own. The hope is that it will breed and help secure the survival of its kind. In the wilderness, every released lynx has to be a successful hunter. That is the only way that Europe's largest cat will survive in the long run. Thanks to the conservation project, the Iberian lynx seems to be on the right track for the future.